Hello, welcome to week number 7, my ultimate motivation hack and how to gain godlike focus on the things that truly matter. This is one of my favorite lessons dito sa Kaizen, and if only ma-embody nyo talaga yung mga ideas dito, it's going to change your life in a micro and macro level. Well, micro level, kasi you will see the difference in just a few days adopting the practices here. Here's what we're going to cover. The brain's reward molecule that makes us want to do things. How to manage this neurotransmitter to take full control of your life. How addicts are made, and how we can get ourselves addicted to doing the things that matter. How to automatically love doing the boring stuff that can get us to success. The principle of less is more. How to gain godlike focus and become ultra productive without adding more into your life. Sa week number 5, diba ito yung na-discuss natin, sabi natin doon na hindi posible na masustain yung motivation natin for long periods of time. And I think I found a way to make it possible. But it's not going to be easy. Pero ang rewards natin, if magawa natin itong ituturo ko, it's exponential. And this is what the training is about. Excited ba kayo? If you're excited, type unlimited motivation in the chat. Okay. So this is the bird's eye view of the Kaizen program. Tapos na tayo sa mindset, behavioral hacks. Tapos na rin tayo sa motivation, subconscious programming. Napag-aralan na rin natin itong low motivation, high fatigue, and hunger, yung mga next dip stages natin. And natutunan na rin natin yung purpose ng deload, saka refeed, diet breaks. Ngayon naman, magpo-focus tayo sa mga seemingly unrelated personal development principles na tutulong sa atin hindi lang sa fitness, but with our overall goals in life. At ngayon, i-discuss natin how our brain works. Kasi dito lang gagaling lahat. Dito lang gagaling yung motivation natin. Willpower natin. Desire natin to do the things. So dito tayo mag-uumpisa. The brain's reward molecule that makes us want to do things. Bakit kailangan natin matutunan to? Because if we have the ability to turn on our motivation by choice, sa mga bagay na tutulong sa atin mag-progress sa buhay, ang sa'yo, di ba? Hindi yung aantayin lang natin siya, lalabas siya, tapos mag-take action lang tayo pag ando dyan si motivation. Ngayon, may choice na tayo. It's like having a superpower. Right? Let's start with this question. So who here has no problem doing this non-stop? Type na chat nga. Video games, Netflix, social media, party. Eto. Kaya ba gawin to non-stop? Gym, focus work, meditate, read books. Sa mga bago, why is it that the left activities are so easy to do and the right ones are so hard? Can the newbies guess? We can understand this by introducing the brain's reward molecule. What is this? Dopamine. Ano ba yung dopamine yan? Dopamine is a brain neurotransmitter that is responsible for making us want or desire things. Yung excitement na nafe-feel natin bago tayo mag-check ng social media, dopamine yan. Yung kilig natin bago tayo mag-ML o mag-Dota, dopamine yan. Bago tayo mag-Netflix o movie, dopamine yan. Yung excitement na feeling natin pag check na natin yung pinost natin na photo or quote sa social media, expecting na madami siyang likes, dopamine yan. And for us to understand how powerful dopamine is, ito yung famous rat experiment. So yan, si rat, nilagyan siya ng electrode sa ulo. Tapos nakakonect yun sa simulator. So the rat was given a hit of dopamine every time it pushed a button. It could push it as much as it wanted and was given as much as it requested. So ito yung lever. Ratgasms. It continuously pushed the button, day in, day out, flooding and overloading its brain with dopamine. Then, tinignan nila gaano ka-motivated yung rat to push the button even more. The scientists made the rat walk over a pad that electrocuted them. No difference. The rat happily walked over it, giving itself an electric shock on its way to pushing the button. In short, dead man si rat sa pain, basta makakuha siya ng dopamine hit. It wasn't long before the rat lost all motivation to do anything else except push the button. It did not want to eat or sleep or do anything but overload its tiny rat brains with dopamine. So at this point, you're probably thinking, stupid rat, bakit niya ginagawa yun? Well, guess what? You're doing this to yourself as well. Ibang medium nga lang, technology. Yan yung check tayo ng phone nang wala namang reason, refresh tayo ng refresh, scroll tayo ng scroll. Ay, silip tayo ng silip ng phone, sinecheck natin kung may text ba, may chat ba, kahit naman dito manog. Yan yun, dopamine yun. Sino guilty? Alam niyo yung katumbas nito sa yung pasilip-silip ng mobile phones yan? Anong katumbas yan sa sa 90s? Yung landline pa lang. Kaya para tayong angat ng landline, tas hello tayo ng hello. Wala naman tumatawag. So ganun tayo kalala. So we're the same as the rat addicted to pushing the button. And it's the reason why the left activities are easier and more motivating to do because they give you huge and immediate dopamine boost. Underline si immediate kasi immediate reward talaga yung trigger ng release ng madaming dopamine. Itong activity sa right, the rewards here are not immediate. If you work out, hindi naman agad macho ka mamayang gabi, di ba? If you meditate, hindi naman agad kalmado yung state mo. If you read a few pages of a book, hindi ka naman agad matalino. So the rewards here are delayed. And it's the reason why they are unappealing kumpara dito. Any activity where you anticipate there's a potential immediate reward, your brain releases dopamine. But if there's no immediate reward, walang dopamine or mahina yung release niya. Immediate reward, instant gratification, high dopamine release. Video games, social media, drugs. Delayed gratification, yan yung mababa yung release ng dopamine. And your brain doesn't care if the activity you do is good or bad, dangerous or not. It just wants more and more dopamine. Kaya kanina sa rat example, kahit kinukuryente na siya, then pa rin siya, basta ma-push niya lang yung button to get the dopamine. Okay, coach. So, what's the point? Bago natin sabihin yung point, ask ko muna, sino may sa Red Doors dati? Paborito ko to dati. Nalasing ba kayo dito? Naalala nyo ba kung nakakailang bote kayo nung nagiinom kayo? Then, napansin nyo ba habang patagal na patagal, pag weekly na kayo umiinom or even 2-3 times a week, lumalakas na kayo, di ba? Hindi lang 2 bottles. So dati, 2 bote, nahihilo na kasi ako eh. Tapos yung natitrain na ako, parang 4, 5, 6. So ganoon, lumalakas, di ba? So kung hindi ka naman nagiinom, how about this? Kape at saka pre-workout. Naalala niyo ba yung unang dose niyo ng pre-workout, di ba? Ang lakas. May jitters pa, parang may nginig factor pa yung nakasama eh. Pero pag tagal, hindi mo na siya masyadong nafe-feel. Tama? And that's the point. The same with caffeine and alcohol, we build up tolerance to dopamine over time and begin to need more and more to feel anything as a result. This can be a huge problem. Bakit? Because the things and activities that give low dopamine stimulation, they don't interest you any longer. They feel boring and less fun, kaya wala na tayong motivation to do them. Ang language ni brain pag mataas na yung tolerance natin is this. This isn't working, I want more. To explain this further, pakita ko itong ginawa ko. So dopamine level, high, low. So kung dito ka, if your tolerance to dopamine is already high, then the only things that will be interesting to you and motivate you are the activities that can give huge amounts of dopamine. Yan yun. Social media, Netflix, video games, porn, gambling, parties, alcohol, drugs. So high dopamine activities sila since they give immediate rewards. Saka unproductive sila. Usually mga nagbibigay ng immediate rewards, they're the ones that are not helpful. And then, paano naman itong mga low dopamine releasing activities? Yung mga hindi nagbibigay ng instant gratification. Ano yung mga yan? Reading books, working out, meditating, building your business, writing, journaling, planning, personal development, being present with loved ones, or building relationships. So if you're accustomed to getting huge and immediate dopamine boost, then the activities that are actually good for you, itong nasa baba, no matter what you do, they're just going to be boring and uninteresting. No amount of discipline and willpower can make you motivated to want this. Like doon kanina sa rat example natin, we're just going to aim for more and more dopamine. Kahit pa kinukuryente tayo, kahit wala na tayong nagagawa buong araw, kahit pa napapabayaan na natin yung health natin, ang motivated lang tayo gawin is to get more dopamine. So itong pag-pull ng lever, the rat only wants this because it is the one giving it immediate rewards. And it doesn't care. Kahit makuryente siya. Dadaan siya dyan, no? Atake niya yun. Then itong pagkain, tulog, inom, hindi na niya ginawa. Kasi they're not appealing anymore. Kasi mababa yung dopamine stimulation. Kahit na ito yung mga bagay na tutulong sa kanya mag-survive. Like the rat, we're willing to give up our life para lang sa social media, likes and validation, video games, Netflix, addictions, etc. This is why the majority, for lack of a better term, walang nanarating sa buhay because their brains are already accustomed to high dopamine stimulation. So they just crave more and more. And just imagine, if you spent all the time you've wasted chasing more dopamine via your unproductive habits in the past 10 years, if instead, you spent all of that time doing something meaningful, creating something meaningful, nasaan ka na sana ngayon? To add to that, since our brain always seeks more dopamine, it always compares every activity that we do. Ang language ng brain natin, boring to, mas masaya gawin yun, wala nang epekto, I want more. But since our brain always seeks more dopamine, it always compares the activity that we do. Ang ganito siya. So, cellphone, social media versus reading a book. Sino man nanalo? Social media, syempre. Siya yung may immediate rewards. Next round, social media versus meditating. Sino man nanalo? Of course, social media ulit. Next round, social media versus video games. Let's say, naubos na yung kaka-refresh mo. Wala ka na makita, wala ka na bagong post. Nanalo si video games. Umangat na siya. Tumaas na yung baseline. Social media, Netflix versus video games. Ako na, nanalo si Netflix. Kasi na-bore ka na sa paglalaro. Puro katalo. Yung mga kasama sa rank game, ang bambibigat. Netflix versus ML. May ML lang ako. ML nanalo. ML versus party. Party versus drugs. Tapos, babalik ang workout. Drugs versus working out. Diba? Ang layo na ng agwat. Kaya wala na. Kaya hirap ka na mag-workout. Kaya tinatamad ka na mag-workout. Gets nyo yun? Clear yun, guys? So our brain always needs more dosage of dopamine. Ito, symptoms of dopamine addiction. Can put the phone down, difficulty focusing, can't stand the silence, yan, dami kong kilala ganyan, compulsive and destructive behaviors, prone to shiny object syndrome. Meron ba relate dito? Sadly, like drug addicts, most of us are overly stimulated by dopamine and we're addicted to getting more of it. It's just too common that we think it's normal. What does a dopamine addict say? Di ko kaya mag-workout, di ko kaya magbasa, di ko kaya mag-diet, walang disiplina at motivation. It's so difficult. Kasi nga, the dopamine addict's brain, pataas na tolerance, and it always compares the activity. Kaya kaya sinasabi niya to, hindi niya kaya yan, hindi siya ganyan, tiyatamad siya. Kasi, they give dopamine stimulation. Kaya wala nang tama. Sa totoo, hindi naman, sabi niya, wala akong disiplina at motivation. Hindi totoong wala siyang motivation. Saka wala siyang disiplina. Kasi pagdating dito sa mga bagay na to, alam ko lahat tayo guilty dito. Pagdating dito sa mga bagay na to, sobrang dali gawin. Diba? Sobrang lakas ng motivation natin manood ng Netflix, pumarty, mag-social media, maglaro. Kaya hindi totoo yung wala tayong motivation. Wala lang tayong motivation sa mga bagay na nagbibigay ng mababang dopamine hit. Para tayong lasinggero na nagsabi, hindi ko na kaya malasing sa isang bote. It's why older generations don't have this problem. Yan, nagbabasa. Diba? It's never a problem for them. Kasi wala namang gadgets dati. Wala naman TV dati. Wala naman social media dati. So yung pagbabasa, yan yung nagbibigay sa kanila ng dopamine. At itong sa right, hindi yan Marites. Although yung Marites, high dopamine din yun. So ayan, nakikinig sila ng radyo. Yan na yung kasayahan nila. Ikaw ba, ngayon, kaya mo makinig ng radyo? Kaya mo makinig ng kahit FM radio nga lang eh. Yung lolo ko, nabutan ko pa yun, AM. Hatid ako sa school, tas syempre ako sanay ako music. Pag yung lolo ko maghahatid, lipat niya sa AM radyo yan. Diba? Hindi natin kaya. Kasi may comparison na tayo sa mga technologies ngayon. May social media namin, Netflix na. And other dopamine stimulating activities. And that's why life was a lot more fun before. Agree ba kayo dito? Mas masaya dati? Although, subjective to, syempre. So, yung mga bagets dito, hindi na inabot to. So, ayan, trumpo sa labas, sumbaka, tumbang preso, patintero. Nakakamiss, di ba? Tapos itong Ghost Fighter, tsaka yung ibang anime sa ano, Hunter x Hunter, yung, anong oras to dati? 7 p.m. di ba? Yung sabay-sabay kayo uuwi. Sabihin nyo, Ghost Fighter na, so nakatambay kayo sa labas, so uuwian kayo. Sabay-sabay kayo uuwi kasi doon yun lang yung time na pwede nyo panoorin tong Ghost Fighter. Wala namang internet dati, wala namang replay. Unlike ngayon, uy, napanood mo na siya, no? Hindi, mamaya ako papanoorin. Na dati, sabay-sabay. Tapos lalabas kayo ulit, magkagantuhan kayo, meron kayong takeaways. Yan yung parang in-person breakout room, di ba? Parang Kaizen live. Tara, uwi na tayo, Kaizen na. Tapos lalabas kayo, mag-breakout room kayo. Ano ba, saya? Nakakamiss. Ngayon, tingin mo ba, exciting pa itong mga to? Hindi na, di ba? Nabase na nakita ko, of course, I have kids, hindi na. And due to our addiction to dopamine, mental health issues are more prevalent now. Yan yung naiipon na envy, jealousy, mga negative emotions na dala ng social media due to comparison, collective blaming sa gobyerno, religion, yung mga actions na nagkakos ng division sa atin because proving ourselves to others is now very easy. So natin patunayan na magaling tayo, matalino tayo, meron ako nito, meron ako niyan. Successful ako, ito achievements ko. Kaya hindi na nga natin kaya mag-CR ng walang phone eh. Right? Sobrang boring for us. And because of this, ang effect, most people now are afraid to be alone with their thoughts. So they distract themselves. Kaya tumataas depression, anxiety, mental problems, kasi yung generation ngayon, hindi na marunong mapunta sa silence. Yung i-confront yung sarili nilang demons and process their own thoughts and emotions. So nasusuppress, then sasabog. Dati, if you remember, di naman prevalent. Di naman kasing prevalent ngayon yung mental issues, mental problems. Bakit? Kasi wala pang social media. Kaya naalala nyo yun sa mga bagets, uso pa nga dati sa school, pinapalahod sila sa asin, sa monggo ba yun? Pinapalabas sa classroom, minumura, sinisigawan, inuukaan yung buhok, ayan, experience ko yan. Pinapasquat sa likod, nakaharap sa wall, tapos may bit-bit ka pang libro. Ngayon mga ganon. But those people who experience those punishments, tinatawanan lang nila. Hindi siya cause ng depression. Hindi siya cause ng, papatulfo ko yan, sobrang na-hurt ako. Doon sa panahon ko, hindi naman ako sobrang tanda, just 33, so 90s kid ako. So sa aming mga 90s, mga naka-experience yun, based lang sa observation ko, it was fun experiences. Ngayon pagkikwentuhan namin, sobrang saya nun, no? Ngayon yung mga bata, ganito, ganyan, ang hihina na. Na iba na yung generation. Yun lang naman yung opinion ko. Ayan, move tayo. You know what? Itong dopamine addiction, this does not just apply to playing games or social media. Dito sa fitness, this applies to our diet as well. Different foods give us different dopamine stimulation. And usually, the shittier the food is, like in desserts, matatamis, salt, betchin, etc., the higher the dopamine it releases sa brain natin. Now, if you're used to eating shit, high dopamine releasing foods, then our taste buds automatically compares and assesses the healthy foods that we eat, then disregard them as not enjoyable. Since the brain just wants more and higher dopamine releases, kahit pa overweight na tayo, may mga unhealthy medical conditions na, may sakit na, ayaw pa rin natin tumigil. Hindi pa rin natin mapigilan. Relate? Meron ba relate dito? Ayan, guilty tayo lahat dyan. Nabalik tayo sa unang panahon. Kay Eva at Adan, o yung mga kasunod nila. Wala pang McDo nun, wala pang fast foods, wala pang nun, Sukat Squad, wala pang kung ano-ano. Wala pang anything junk. Tingin mo sabi ni Eva at Adan, ayoko nitong isda, ayoko nitong isdang nahuli natin, gusto ko ng dessert. Hindi, di ba? Kasi wala silang something to compare. So kung ano yung pagkain nila, yun yung masarap. Kesyo, isda pa yan, damo pa yan, prutas pa yan. Pero ngayon tayo, overabundant ng choices at yung dopamine baseline natin, sobrang taas na rin. So kaya sobrang hirap tayo mamili ng pagkain. Pagbabalik tayo sa mga simple, mga healthy, gulay, karne, ayaw natin, boring na. And it's the reason why madami sa atin nagkaroon ng limiting belief na hindi raw natin kaya kumain ng paulit-ulit na food kahit yun pa yung magbibigay sa atin ng results. How crazy is that? And this is the macro or zoom out view of a person who's addicted to dopamine. Ang language niya, these are the only things I'm motivated to do. Kasi mataas yung baseline niya. Then itong helpful, important yet low dopamine releasing activities below. Ang sinasabi niya dito, these suck. I don't know how to do this. Only weird people do this stuff. Nakarelate ba kayo? Ako, oo. Guilty ako dito. Dati. Anyone else? Ito naman yung micro view. Yung more zoomed in na view. A typical day of a dopamine addict. So when we sleep, our dopamine baseline goes down a little. Follow natin itong graph. So paggising ni dopamine addict, ano gagawin niya? Ano gagawin mo? Parang hindi ka na malito. Paggising mo, ano gagawin mo? Magche-check ka ng phone. Yan yung mag-good morning sa'yo, di ba? So meron agad stimulation. Kaya tataas ulit si dopamine. And since ang brain natin always wants more dopamine, ayun yung sinasabi niya, I want more. Bigyan mo pa ako. So social media, it's junk, I want more, Netflix, as tutulog siya ulit, and the cycle will just repeat itself. Kahit pa dito, di ba, in between, pinaplano mo na mag-work, na magbasa ng book, mag-aral ng course, mag-gym, sobrang hirap. Kasi, umpisa pa lang, in-spike mo na siya, at hinanap ni brain more and more. Kaya hindi ka makababa dito. Yung mga activities na mag-move forward sa buhay natin, hindi na natin magawa. Never tayo magka-motivation gawin to, and even we label ourselves, hindi ko kayang gawin yung mga yan. Bakit? Again, he or she started the day with huge hits of dopamine. It's why the things that are good for him or her get compared the whole day with those activities and become hell of a lot boring. This is why life gets dull. We work, then pag-uwi, play video games, inom, party, social media, Netflix, then babalik sa work. Ang ginagawa ng brain natin, kino-compare yung dopamine sa mga yun, dun sa work natin. Kaya sabihin natin, ang boring ng work ko, nakakatamad, lipat na kaya ako. If you want a visual measurement of your motivation level, this graph will tell you how motivated you will be to do the hard things, the things that are actually good for you. The bigger the gap, the less motivated you are to do the things that will make you succeed. And ang worst pa, ang ginagawa natin, if we're feeling demotivated, bored tayo, because of this huge gap, ang gagawin pa natin is to find more high dopamine stimulating activities. Hindi dito na nga tayo, sobrang laki ng gap. Sasabihin natin, katamad ngayon, ganyan. Ang gagawin natin, di ba? Hanap pa tayo ng high dopamine activities para i-cure tong boredom. Hanap tayo ng bagong show sa Netflix, tapos habang nanonood, kain tayo ng high dopamine stimulating foods, then social media sa tabi. I-stack natin itong mga behaviors na to stimulate our brain more and more. So pataas siya ng pataas lalo, and the gap gets bigger and bigger. So yes, we killed the boredom for 2 to 3 hours, pero ang layo na lalo ng gap, making us bored and more demotivated pagdating ng bukas. So it's a never-ending cycle. Anyone relate? Type in the chat nga. Baka ako lang yung ganito eh. Okay. Okay, ito, commercial. I'm going to bring up a topic that's a little sensitive for some. But I want all of us to be chillax about this. So this is not about fighting. This is not about taking sides. This is not the place for that. So ang focus lang natin dito is kung ano yung matututunan natin. Asking ourselves, what can I learn from this? Or ano yung pwede kong makita dito na hindi ko nakikita before? Okay lang ba yun? My goal here, my intention here is good. My goal here is for all of us to self-reflect and learn. Okay lang ba? Type in the chat if it's okay. Okay, here's the topic. Arguing about religion and politics. Set aside mo natin mga beliefs natin, values natin, yung galit natin dito sa topic na to, and view it sa lens ng dopamine addiction. So yung pakikipag-argue about politics, about religion, or whatever topic like iPhone versus Android, LeBron versus Jordan, or any topics that have the same energy. Tingin mo, saan siya? High or low dopamine? And the answer is, high. Bakit high? Kasi may immediate rewards. Ano ba immediate rewards na nakukuha natin when we argue? Again, I'm saying this with the utmost respect to each and every one of you. The fact na you're here sa Kaizen, yun naman gusto mo, diba? You're improving yourself. You're learning. You're doing the work. Kaya dun pa lang, you already earn my respect. So this is not, I'm saying this with love. From love. I'm coming from love. So yun lang. So bakit to dopamine high? High dopamine? Kasi kahit ano pang reason natin ng pakikipag-argue, It will have these elements. Yan yung immediate rewards. Yung I am right, I'm important, I'm smart, I'm relevant, I'm better than you. Mas matalino ako sa'yo. Nafe-feed yung ego natin. And sneaky siya. Ito yung di na natin napapansin kasi consumed na tayo ng galit. I remember yung lesson natin, 10% lang si conscious, even 5% nga lang, 90 to 95% subconscious mind. According to Sarah, even 99%. So kaya siya nasa dopamine high kasi merong immediate rewards. Coach, kaya lang naman ako nakikipag-argue, it's because I want my country to be better. So kung tumulong sa mga may hirap, gusto ko ipaglaban yung mga may hirap. So as for the bettering of the country, saving the world, helping the poor, if that's really the goal, nandito siya sa baba. Sa usapang dopamine, walang release or mahina lang kasi wala namang immediate reward to. We can help better the country by standing up for our beliefs, hindi yung pakikipag-argue, by helping the poor, by the time to donate charity, to public service. Pero yung release ng dopamine ng mga actions na yon is not going to be as much as this one. The helping of our country, di ba? Nasaan yan? Delayed gratification category siya. And it's not to be confused with arguing. They are two separate things. And sadly, for many, hindi lahat nagiging justification lang tong part na to. So when we argue, para tayong rat pushing the button to get a dopamine hit kahit pa painful sa atin, kahit pa nakukuryente tayo. Anong katumbas nitong electric pad? Yeah, it's filling our hearts and mind with hatred, anger. Willing tayo sirain yung araw natin para lang makipag-away, para lang ma-prove natin yung point natin. Willing tayo masira yung magandang relationship natin sa iba. Willing tayo i-compromise yung mga values na sabi natin, importante sa atin, like friendship, family, respect, personal opinion. That just for what? So we can get a dopamine hit. Basta anything that makes us want to prove a point, kahit anong topic pa yan, yung feel natin na we need to be right and we need to wrong others, high dopamine yan. My life got better, I became more successful, I made more impact, and I became a more inspiring example to my loved ones. All because I argued more about politics and religion. Said no one ever. So in reality, I just filled my heart with hatred and anger. And to be honest, kahit nanalo ko dun sa argument, I did not feel entirely okay. It was a lose-lose battle. All the tainted relationships, the bigger ego that I built, and the desire in me that want to prove myself as always right that got even stronger. Ayun yung mga nakuha ko just because I craved that dopamine or ego hit. And again, this about the arguing side of the politics or religion. Yung toxic side, no. Hindi ito about standing up for yourself or what you believe. It's different. And again, I'm saying all of this from love and with respect. Kasi ako mismo, I want to help the poor, I want to better the country. Kaya nga may Kaizen eh. Di ba? Yung mission ko na 100K transformations. So kaisa nyo ako dyan sa pagbuo ng magandang mundo. So the reason I'm inserting this part is para magkaroon tayo ng awareness sa mga negative consequences ng pagiging addicted sa dopamine stimulation or pagkikrave nun. And also, to let yourself reflect na kung yung goal mo talaga is to contribute for the betterment of our country or helping the poor, meron pang better vehicle for that than the pakikipag-away and poisoning of ourselves. So kaya ako siya nilagay dito sa high dopamine. Kasi paano pag nasanay tayo dito? Diba? Especially nung election, yun yung mga na-witness ko eh. So nasanay tayo dito, tapos ginawa natin to, of course, our brain will compare the dopamine we get from each activity. And itong mga to, they will be boring and unappealing. We will be demotivated to do all the things na nasa baba since yung stimulation natin, yung baseline natin, andito na sa taas. And the more that we do this, the more tumataas lang yung tolerance natin, and the more this gets boring. Tapos magiging cycle na lang siya. Malilipasan tayo ng panahon, ilang taon, and the habit that we're building, ito andito. Your brain says, I want more and more and more, give me more. At ang mabibuild na cycle, negative loop cycle. Kasi we cannot put out a negative energy then expect to get a positive energy. And that's how the universe works. Okay ba yun? Positive, negative. And ang tanong doon, yung rationalizations ba natin na tumulong sa bansa, na kaya tayo nakikipag-away, totoo nga bang nakatulong tayo? Especially kung nagiging tambay tayo dito. And the energy is not good. In my humble opinion, based sa results na nakuha ko sa buhay at yung mga nakikita kong yung mga mentors ko, mga doing well in life. So, opinion ko, my answer is no. Kasi again, anything that is produced from a negative energy will never net a positive result. Example niyan, parang ano lang yan, parent ako, may parents dito, instead of leading by fear, tinatakot natin yung mga bata, which only works hanggang ilang taon lang, instead of leading them by fear, para sundin yung mga gawin, para sundin tayong parents, instead of that, lead by example instead. Lead by inspiration. Kaya magkaibang energy yun. May fear, by inspiration. Sa inspiration, sa kabilang side, nandun yung positive loop cycle. Gets yun, guys? Okay, so hinga tayo malalim, sabay-sabay. Okay tayo dyan. Usapan dopamine lang yan, ha? And next, yan. Sama natin si Marites dito. High dopamine activity yan at unproductive yan. Dito naman tayo sa kabila. Micro view. Typical day of a recovering dopamine addict. So when we sleep, our dopamine baseline goes down a little. Pag-gising, since recovering ka na, pag-gising mo, hindi ka na-check ng phone. Because it's the most devastating thing you can do for your brain and your productivity. Hindi ka nag-check ng phone, morning routine muna. So ginawa mo yung mga low dopamine tasks like reading, meditating, planning, mga tinuturo dito sa Kaizen. Working out and eating properly are easier to do. Super focus sa work, no high dopamine comparison. And dopamine receptors, hindi siya overly stimulated. So we started our day without high dopamine stimulation. It's why the things that are good for us are much easier to do. Because they get compared with other low dopamine activities only and they become enjoyable and not boring. Kaya maganda yung domino effect. Nasa positive domino effect tayo ng araw natin. At motivated tayo kasi nga maliit yung gap. Ganyan lang siya. Kasi pababa yung baseline. Diba? Papunta dito. And then, at the end of the day, if you want, doon natin i-reward yung sarili natin sa mga high dopamine releasing activities like Netflix and social media. And this time, okay lang. Kasi tapos na tayo sa mga importanteng bagay. Tapos na natin gawin itong mga to. Okay, mag-move forward sa buhay natin. So kahit gawin natin itong social media at Netflix, okay lang since at the end of the day na sila. Wala nang comparison ang mangyayari. Hindi siya pwede ilagay dito sa umpisa kasi nga, tataas agad si dopamine. Usapang dopamine, mahirap kalaban sila Mark Zuckerberg. $1 billion company si Mayan. So here, sa rewards, ang keywords dito, at the end of the day, after finishing the low dopamine important task, saka not damaging. Examples ng damaging, drugs, addictions, pakikipag-away. Okay, pick tayo ng rewards na hindi damaging. And lagyan lang natin ang emphasis to. Yung pag-check ng phone first thing in the morning, first thing upon waking up. It is the most damaging thing you can do for your brain. I'm serious. So when we wake up, yung science to usapang science, usapang spirituality. So pag gising natin, yung brain waves natin, nasa theta state pa siya. Nasa theta frequency pa siya. Ito yung state na we're the most receptive sa suggestions, sa subconscious suggestions. So anything na ilagay natin sa brain natin upon waking up, it goes deep sa subconscious. Kaya when we get into the habit of checking our phones upon waking up, we're teaching ourselves to be reactive, to be controlled by external factors, like emails, social media, news, etc. Just imagine na itong mga nakikita natin sa morning, sa cellphone natin, sila yung natatanim sa subconscious natin. And they are the ones dictating what will happen to our day, even our lives. Kung pagising mo, bad news agad. Kung pagising mo, nakita mo sa Facebook yung kinidnap o yung hinold up, yung namatay. Di ba? Kaya pag nanonood kayo, kayo into personal development kayo, madadaanan nyo dyan, merong mga suggestions dyan na basahin nyo yung goals nyo in the morning, kasi nga, nasa theta state tayo. Kaya maglagay kayo ng magandang suggestion sa brain nyo upon waking up, tsaka bago matulog. Okay? Kaya please, believe me when I say that not checking your phone first thing in the morning is the most productive thing you can do for yourself. Yan, addict ako sa mga optimization, personal development stuff. And of the hundreds of tactics, I try to become an effective person every single day. Ito yung biggest domino. Huwag i-check yung phone. Yun yung number 1 rule ko. So I would challenge you to try this for just 1 week. Now, observe mo lang and see how your life improves. Game ba kayo doon? Game ba? Sino game? Let me know in the chat. Kaya pagising, huwag mag-phone. And of course, you cannot just remove a bad habit and expect na mawala lang siya agad. That's not how it works. To remove a bad habit, you have to replace it. So if you're going to remove checking phone first thing in the morning, then kailangan natin siyang palitan. Napapalit natin and mga ideas. Meditation, reading a few pages of a book, listening to an audiobook, do steps while reviewing your vision board or 2.0 manifesto, okay, yung mga sinulat mo sa Kaizen. And anything na hindi mo hahawakan yung phone mo. So if you're brave enough to follow this, I promise you, you will change your life by the single decision alone. Next, how CC operates, how Coach Show operates. So nag-start ko 2021 pa. Is the reason why I was able to create the Kaizen program. And dito ko i-credit yung mga recent successes ko. So itong mga nasa taas, mga high dopamine releasing activities, and behaviors, triggers, social media, Netflix, video games, buying more stuff, parties, eating shit most of the time. Kasi nagkaroon ako ng belief na, hindi, kaya ako may truck eh. Kaya ako ng dessert, kaya ako ng ganyan, kaya ako ng matamis. So lahat ng to, sinugi ko na sila. And this is why I can easily do all the important low dopamine releasing tasks daily. Nakakapag-gym ako 5 times a week. Work some business, vision, mission daily. 6 to 8 hours ako nag-work. Araw-araw. Guides and trains my team members to be great leaders. Daily writing, journaling, meditating. Daily listening to audiobooks and courses that help me with my vision. Eats the same meals over and over again on default days. Wears the same outfit daily. Spends time with my kids and girlfriend during free time. Or learn more courses and programs. I'm actually enrolled in 4 coaching programs right now. All my time, effort, and money are spent on just a few things. The things that truly matter to me. And then itong sa gitna, mag-insert ako ng mga medium releasing dopamine activities once in a while. Yan, tinatawag na productive fun. Yung mga fun na hindi prone sa addiction. Vacations, meet up with friends. Ayun lang. The removal of all this, parang yung baseline ko ng dopamine, andi dito sa baba. And I can be excited to do the boring stuff over and over. Ganyan ko sinet up ang life. Now, you must be feeling sad and miserable, coach. Ang boring yan. I want to enjoy life. Sabi ng dopamine addict. So it's boring and miserable only because your addicted brain is doing a comparison. Imagine dati, hindi man nila sinasabi dyan na, ang boring today. Facebook tayo, Netflix tayo. Now, these activities in the past are not boring for people because they don't have much to compare them to. The favorite quote ko, making your life boring, that's really the point. It's only when you make your life boring by removing the unnecessary pleasures of life that you will truly enjoy and appreciate the things that really matter. So that's what I did. I made my life so boring. That's why doing the important things deeply excite me. And true story to right now, sobrang excited ako mag-work. Sobrang excited ako mag-gym. Sobrang excited ako makita yung mga bata. Every Sunday. So, sa araw ko, pagtapos na ako sa work, tapos wala akong gagawin kasi hindi na ako mag-Netflix, hindi ako sa social media, I'm so bored na mag-work ulit ako. Or magbabasa ako ng book, or magtitik ako ng course. Ganun lang yung ginagawa ko. And then pag Sunday, sobrang excited ako makita yung mga bata, makabonding sila. That's because low dopamine baseline ako. Amplified na lahat ng little pleasure sa buhay ko. Investing, because of this, mas mabilis at mas masaya akong ma-achieve ang vision ko because all my time and effort nakafocus doon. So pag-visit ko sa kids ng Sunday, bukod sa, sobrang excited ko. Tapos pagdating ko doon, sobrang quality ng bonding namin kasi present talaga ako. Kasi wala namang ibang gagawin. Hindi yung nandun ka nga, tapos nag-cellphone ka, busy yung utak mo lumilipad sa iba. So ganun, ang saya lang, mas masaya ngayon. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, the people who dedicated their lives to their crafts, to being the best, sila yung best example ng quote na to. If you want to win in life, whatever that means to you, you have to narrow down your focus to only the things that truly matter. Sa kanila, basketball. Kay Coach Show, yung mission, vision ko. 100K transformation. To introduce, to make personal development a big part of Filipinos' daily lives. Yun yung sa akin. So itong line, the things that truly matter, ang magde-define niyan, ikaw. Not other people, not your family, not government, but you. Because if you don't define what's truly important for you, then other people will. And worse, maniniwala ka sa kanila. Now again, if you don't define what's truly important for you, then other people will define it for you. And worse, maniniwala ka sa kanila. Matatanda ka, para kang dahon na tinatangay-tangay lang ng hangin. Hindi mo alam saan ka pupunta. When you get old, may mga regrets kasi yung sinunod mo, hindi naman pala sa'yo. So just imagine this too. Si Kobe, si MJ. kaya ba sabihin sa kanila na, Oy, Kobe, ano ngayon politics season ngayon, bakit practice ka ng basketball dyan? Bakit di ka nakikipag-argue? Political ka ata eh. You think they would care? No, kasi they already know what they want in life and they won't let others dictate what should be important for them. Oy, Jordan, huwag ka mag-basketball. Ano ngayon? Election ngayon. Unahin mo yung boto, unahin mo yung post ka sa social media ng sino binoto mo. Hindi, di ba? Hindi. Ayun yung tingin ko Hindi ko alam yung opinion nila dito. Yun yung tingin ko. They won't let others dictate what should be important for them. Kasi dinefine na nila yan long time ago. Na college pa lang sila, they already knew what they want in life. Gusto nila maging best basketball player. At inalign nila lahat ng nangyayari sa buhay nila to support that goal. And I would suggest you do the same thing. Figure out what's important for you. Narrow down your focus on that thing and live life true to the one that you designed. And speaking of focus, dito tayo. How to gain godlike focus and become ultra productive. Now, connected siya sa dinidiscuss natin. So question, how do we focus? Ano yung ultimate hack mo for improving focus? Type in the chat nga. I'll give you 10 seconds. Sige, bato lang kayo ng ideas. Okay. So, I'm sure wala namang mali sa sinabi nyo, but for me, it's this. Subtraction, not addition. So, it's a principle more than a tactic. And you can apply this in everything. For example, ano bang opposite ng focus? It's distraction. So, being absolutely focused is not making more effort to be focused. Hindi yung pinipilit mo yung sarili maging focus. It is just simply removing distraction. If all distractions are removed, focus is going to be the default. Ito yung concept ng less is more. So going back dito sa example kanina, sa personal life ko, the reason why I can focus here, nasa baba, is because I remove all the distractions. At kung gagawin natin categories or areas itong nasa baba, maging ganito siya. So vision, mission, impact, family, intimate relationship, health, fitness, personal development, productive, fun. So these are the most important areas of my life. So ito yung first step. Kaya week 1 pa lang, diniscuss na natin to. Because again, if we don't define what's important for us, ang consequence nun is other people will define it for us. Or possibly, lahat ng shiny objects, mapaperceive natin sila as all important. And sabi nga, if everything is important, then nothing is important. Example nito, pag nagbabasa ng mga, di ba, meron tayong kilala, even ourselves, pag nagbabasa tayo ng book, physical book, hard copy, ang ginagawa natin, hina-highlight natin yung buong page, buong sentences. Kaso yung buong libro highlighted na. So wala na yung important doon, wala na sense yung pag-highlight. If everything is important, then nothing is important. So kung lahat sila importante, then what? Maging sabog yung focus natin. Maubos yung energy mo doing the things that really are not important for you. Kaya marami sa ating gumigising, ayaw na mag-work, ayaw na bumangon. Kasi yung ginagawa nila, hindi naman importante. So sa akin, ito yun. Ito yung pinaka-importante sa buhay ko. Hindi mo pwede sabihin sa akin, Coach, dapat ito importante sa'yo. Hindi. Ito yung importante sa akin. And then what I do, na-define ko na yung important sa akin, I say no to everything that is not going to support this. Crypto, Bitcoin, side hustles, etc. Meron place for those, but right now, since I want focus, no to everything muna. So ito yung mga goals ko dati, nilet go ko na sila. More passive income streams, piano, Spanish, buying a house, travel, 500k followers, bili ako ng resort, bili ako ng yacht. Ito yung mga sinusunod ko sa goals ko dati. So yan, nilet go ko na. I figured out, hindi naman sila importante sa akin. At least for now. Parang naging ego boost ko lang yung naglalagay ako ng goals, tapos niyayabang ko siya sa iba. Ito yung goals ko, ang taas ng pangarap ko, yung mga gusto kong ma-achieve. Diba? Hindi naman talaga importante. Pangyabang lang. Alam yun, yung may dopamine hit ka lang every time na magsusulat ka ng goals o kaya i-share mo sa iba. And don't get me wrong, I would love to have all of this. Pero hindi ngayon. Pwedeng next time, pagdabot ko na to. Kasi ito nga importante. Nasa ko dito, kailangan ko i-police yung sarili ko. I just have to sacrifice them para sa mga importante sa akin. Ito man ang nasa baba. Ito tandaan yung quote If you don't sacrifice the things for what you want becomes the sacrifice. Okay, kuya yan. If you don't sacrifice the things for what you want becomes the sacrifice. So, kailangan talaga ng trade-off. Kasi limited lang yung time natin. Hindi natin pwede gawin lahat yan and expect na mag-excel tayo sa mga importante sa atin. Okay, so that's the first step. Yung sa akin, I say no to everything that is not going to support this. Next, and instead of looking for something to add, I look for something to remove. So paano ko ginagawa yan? Ano lang, constant optimization lang. Kunwari, itong part ng routine ko, yung pagbabasa ng ganito, pag-aaral ng ganito, kailangan ko ba yan? Ano pa pwede ko alisin dito sa araw ko para makapag-focus ako dito lalo? So yung mga ganun. Ano pa yung pwede kong i-outsource sa mga ginagawa ko? Ano pa yung pwede kong gawa ng system? Ano pa yung pwede kong i-delegate? So constant improvement and optimization. Naka-default ako sa ano yung pwede kong tanggalin. So in effect, focus is the default if all distractions are removed. Pag nagawa mo to sa life mo, instant, alis ka sa dip. Kasi ang dip, loss of motivation, di ba? So paano ko mawawalan ng motivation kung ito na lang yung ginagawa mo? Wala, only motivation ka na. But of course, yung pinakamahirap, you have to define first what's important for you. Yung kaya mo i-dedicate yung life mo towards pursuing it. Oh yeah, this is just a different view but same thing. Gusto ko lang balanda rin bago kong posing. Yan, so important sa akin, vision ko, impact, family, yung nakalagay kanina. Tapos inalis ko na lahat to. So the mistake is always looking to add more. Adding more means more dopamine stimulation, and it dilutes our focus, making us even more susceptible to shiny object syndrome. Yan, example ng mga prone sa shiny objects. Yan, gusto ng more followers, aralin daw crypto, addict social media, Bitcoin naman daw, more side business hustle, more fitness programs, gusto magpalit, anong Netflix show ng next natin, more food variety, hindi ko kaya paulit-ulit na pagkain, more books, more courses, more YouTube videos, follow more people, subscribe to more people, install more apps, play more games, buy more stuff. More. Kaya wala nang natapos, wala nang na-produce na something meaningful. Kasi for us to build something amazing, to create something truly amazing, kailangan natin umabot sa threshold ng siguro 70 to 80%. Yung allotment ng time, ng attention, ng energy natin. Hindi natin pwede gawin, take the 10% lang to, then expect a massive return sa efforts natin. Hindi. More dopamine stimulation lang yan at more distraction. Kasi if you get bored sa isa dyan, ang gagawin mo, hanap ka lang naman ng iba eh. Kasi yun yung habit mo. Kaya super distracted si brain. Pero mag-guilty dito? Ako, guilty ako. Ganito ako dati. Thinking that more is better. So a good illustration to support this. Scattered focus versus singular focus. So dito sa left, yung taong maraming iniintindi at inaatupag, thinking that more is better, ayun lang, kunwari 8 yung pinagkakaabalahan niya ngayon. So ang nabibigay lang niya is 12.5%. And 12.5%, hindi ubra yan. Pwede siya makakuha ng result, but it will take him or her a very, 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 very long time. Versus dito singular focus na he or she can give 100% or close to it. Because breakthroughs happen when you reach this threshold. So perfect analogy dito, perfect analogy ng power of focus is this. Sino nakatayo nito nung bata pa siya? Using a magnifying glass para sunugin yung papel. Magkaroon ng butas yung papel. Anyone? May nakatry ba nito? So kung hindi pa natatry ito nung bata kayo, itry nyo ngayong adults na kayo. Ma-amaze kayo dyan. Dati sa ano pa yan, sa dahon. So this is the power of focus. So ang ginagawa ni magnifying glass, di ba yung sun rays, scattered siya. Ang ginagawa ni magnifying glass is it position the scattered rays into one focal point. Kaya nagma-magnify din yung intensity. At nag-pierce siya doon sa papel. So kalat-kalat yung araw, yung init, si magnifying glass, pinunta niya lahat dito, parang imbudo, pinunta niya sa isang focal point, kaya sobrang lakas ng intensity. May breakthrough. And that's how I want you to think about your focus and attention. Put all of those in a few things and watch how fast your progress is. And as for the ones here na nasa left, ang mangyayari sa kanila, either they quit kasi sobrang tagal, walang nangyayari, or madedelay ng sobrang tagal pa, which will lead to the high tendency of quitting din. A great quote na swak dito, sabi ni Robin Sharma, do a few things at mastery versus many things at mediocrity. Another example, a great example, si Michael Phelps. So ganyan kadami medals niya, and he is the GOAT, greatest of all time, sa swimming. So bakit? Because he narrowed his focus only on the things that are important for him. Ano important for him? Swimming. O kaya ganyan yung routine niya. So wake up, unang gagawin, swim. Bakit? Kasi he wanted to be the best swimmer. That's just it. So wait, lift, eat, nap, swim again, dinner, spend time family, fiancé, Nicole, son, bedtime. And then ulit. Repeat 365 days. So just imagine Michael Phelps pursuing YouTube, gaining IG followers, naghahanap ng subscribers, naggagawa ng TikTok. Now probably ginagawa niya yung mga yun kasi tapos na siya dito. Diba? Outside Prime na siya. So just imagine mo, yung peak niya, ang dami niyang distraction. Bumibili siya ng mga iba't ibang swimming programs, nanonood siya ng Netflix. Kung ganun, hindi niya makukuha to. Tama? Or if nagpasilaw siya sa fame niya, sa money niya, sa status niya, nagbibili siya ng kung ano-ano, tapos nawala na siya sa focus, hindi niya to ma-achieve. Ang sabi nga ng quote natin sa lesson 1, don't let the byproduct of your success distract you from the things that made you have this success. Now again, if you want to win in life, whatever that means to you, you have to narrow down your focus to only the things that truly matter. Ito yung example ng Kaizen member natin, my good friend na si Ots. So this was from season 1 pa and still an inspiring example. If you focus on what matters, you get more results and have much more fulfillment. Ito yung nilagay niya doon. Sabi niya, number 2, ito lang may mga arrows. Was able to decommit from 15 businesses and investments down to 3. Now I'm more focused than ever. Learn the new skill of the committing to unnecessary things I made before and still keep the relationship. Got myself out of the rut of being the focus, having a decluttered mind, and now I can think, feel, act clearly towards my vision, and it's moving forward fast. Solid social media diet for 2 weeks, and I can feel the benefit of the reset. This helped me improve my focus and got a lot more things done. Basically, I'm generally happy. I got my life back to where it is aligned in just a short period of time. All it takes is a decision. Now I can seriously focus on the things that on just what matters: business, fitness, spirituality, and my vision to create an impact. So yan, galing diba? Business from 15 down to 3. For most people, hindi nila kaya to. So, ang reaction nila probably, hindi ko kaya yan, sayang yung pera. So ang consequence nun, 15 businesses, sobrang dami, is hindi ka makakatudo doon sa mga bagay na mas importante para sa'yo. And for you to be able to do this, you really have to know what's important for you. Then make the necessary sacrifice, trade-offs. Yan yung pinaka-proof na these are the only things that truly matter. Na yung kaya mo ipagpalit yung mga tingin mong magagandang bagay to something greater. Ayun, sabi nila, good is the enemy of the great. Sabi ni Steve Jobs to. Yung advice niya sa Nike yata, kausap niya, no? O basta may quote siya na about saying no. Marami siyang, parang sabi niya, focus is not saying yes, it's about saying no to many thousand things para makagawa sila ng better. So again, subtraction, not addition. If all distractions are removed, focus is going to be the default. Less is more. And itong na-discuss natin, this applies sa macro scale ng life natin. Zoom out. But did you know that the less is more approach is also applicable sa micro scale, sa day-to-day, and even moment-to-moment living natin? So paano? Now this one, the myth of multitasking. Meron ba dito ng mga proud multitaskers? Can you let us know in the chat kung magaling ka mag-multitask? So this is what happens to your brain when you multitask. Parang example natin kanina. You use only 10%. You use only a small percentage of your brain to juggle multiple tasks. And it's a complete waste of brain power. And you know why? Bakit sabi nila dito myth ang multitasking? Kasi hindi naman totoong sabay mo ginagawa yung mga bagay, yung mga tasks. What happens is, it is not multitasking. It is task switching. So, hindi siya sabay nangyayari. Hindi sabay ginagawa ng brain mo yung mga tasks na yun. Nag-switch lang siya. You do the other, then your brain switches fast to the next one. Then you go back and forth. Okay? So, hindi siya sabay. Palipat-lipat siya. And that's why, when we multitask, our IQ level drops by up to 40%. So, daig pa yung suminghot ng marijuana, humits ng marijuana. So, imagine, nag-multitask ka, mas sabog ka pa sa sabog. So, avoid natin yan. So kapag nasanay kasi tayo multitask, ang sinasanay natin is yung kabaliktaran ng focus. We're training ourselves to task switch. So pagdating natin sa mga bagay na kailangan ng intense focus, singular focus, hindi natin kaya kasi train tayo dun sa kabilang side. Okay, so ito yung nakakita ko sa website ni James Clear, yung author ng Atomic Habits. So AB, quality of work done, tsaka amount of multitasking. A looks simple but actually gets result. Ito yan. Letter B, kung marami kang minumultitask, B looks busy but actually wastes time. Kasi low quality output mo. So this idea is perfectly applicable sa micro and macro scale of our lives. Whether you view your life day to day, month to month, even year to year, the concept of less is more holds true for all. Now, moving forward, ito yung strategy ko talaga to really become a productive person. I call it managing dopamine. 3 steps to gain godlike focus. So step 1, remove or lessen this. Social media, Netflix, video games, porn, junk foods, parties, alcohol, /drugs, buying shit, arguing politics, marites, sama natin yan. So if you get accustomed to this, mahirap na gawin yung mga successful na bagay. So step 1, bawasan o tanggalin. Ako, nagtanggal ako. Step 2, spend majority of your life here. Reading books, taking care of your health, fitness, meditating, building your business if you have one, writing, journaling, long-term planning, personal development, building relationships. Or whatever's important for you. So kung dito importante sa'yo, huwag mo ito gawin. Ito lang naman yung suggestion ko. Ikaw nga magde-define kung ano importante sa'yo. Step number 3, schedule this once in a while. Vacations, taking a break, recreation, hobbies, and yung productive fun na tinatawag natin. Okay? So it's basically making your life boring so you can only be interested and motivated to do the things that matter to you. Coach, hindi ko kaya give up mga yan. Sabi ni dopamine addict. If you think you can't give up the dopamine-stimulating activities, then that is the ultimate sign you should be giving them up. Addict ka na, and you need to recover. So let's say, give up mo itong mga nandito sa taas. O ganyan mangyayari. Bababa si dopamine baseline. Pag bumaba yung dopamine baseline, your motivation to do this, to do the hard things, to do the things that will make you successful, mag-i-intensify sila. At ma-appreciate mo lalo itong mga bagay na to. Pagising mo, sobrang excited mo, gawin yung mga boring sa'yo dati. And because of that, of course, automatic na agad yung focus mo. Mataas na agad yung motivation mo. Kasi boring ng buhay mo eh. So ito na yung magpapagana sa'yo. How would it feel if your motivation only comes from doing the things that are helpful for you and your loved ones? What would your life be like? How awesome would you be now? I would guess, ang dami mong ma-accomplish na. And na-reinforce lang natin tong quote na to. Making your life boring, that's really the point. It's only when you make your life boring by removing the unnecessary pleasures of life that you will truly enjoy and appreciate the things that really matter. A quick story, when we went to Bohol last time, so pagdating doon, walang wifi, mahina yung wifi. So dati, pag yung lugar walang wifi, I get sad, I get mad, I get pissed off. But during this time, no wifi, no problem. Kasi natutunan ko na itong dopamine stuff na to. Having no Wi-Fi means it's an additional training and reinforcement for me to be free of dopamine addiction. Ayan yung realization ko that time. Walang Wi-Fi or internet, that will reset my brain's dopamine receptors, and tomorrow and the next days, since mababa na yung baseline ko, I would love doing the hard things even more. Plus the fact that you get to be present with yourself and your loved ones. Sobrang big bonus. Ang ganda, di ba? Nice reframe. May new lens na ako sa pagiging bored. Being bored means my dopamine receptors are getting a break at bumababa yung baseline na. And it's not just a shift in perspective. Hindi lang ako nagpa-positive self-talk dito. Feeling boredom is actually a sign na bumababa talaga yung dopamine baseline natin. Kaya nga effective yung mga meditation na tool. And it's difficult pag hindi tayo sanay, pag dopamine addict tayo, because it's basically us training ourselves to be in the no stimulation state at sanayin natin yung sarili natin dun sa boring state na yun. Dun sa wala tayong ginagawa. Gets yun? So kaya yun yung silbi ng meditation. Diba? To go inside, to be present with yourself, to be okay with not doing anything. And by doing that, pababa na pababa, yung dopamine baseline natin. Napapahinga yung overly stimulated na brains natin. So itong managing dopamine, meron din itong micro view. Meron itong step by step. We call it dopamine detox or dopamine fast. So ito yung mga methods to lower our dopamine baseline. Meron tayong tatlo. Ito yung number 1, cold turkey. This means, tigil na. Wala na talaga. ito yung pinaka-effective sa lahat since stop ka na talaga eh. So mas mabilis bababa yung dopamine baseline. Example niyan, yan. No more porn, social media, drugs, arguing regarding politics or religion forever. O, wala na. Goodbye na. So ano yung mga examples ng high dopamine activities? Social media, email, maraming addict dito sa email, di ba? Video games, Netflix, porn, junk, shitty foods, marites, talking shit about people, alcohol, yosi, gambling, YouTube, drugs, arguing politics, religion, or kahit ano. Tapos, ito last, stacking this on top of each other. Yun yung worst. Netflix tayo, video games, tapos social media tabi natin, kakain tayo ng kung ano-ano. Okay, so pili tayo dito. Ano yung babawasan ko? Ipapahinga ko naman yung utak ko. Tapos pag bored ako, dapat i-celebrate ko kasi yun nga, napapahinga yung brain ko. Ibig sabihin, bored ako ngayon. Pag tiniis ko to, pag nakayanan ko to, bukas, mas motivated ako gawin yung mga bagay na tutulong sa akin maging successful. Okay, so pili tayo dyan at decide tayo kung ano yung babawasan or aalisin natin. So method number two, fasting/detox. So avoiding dopamine triggers for a set period of time, 1 to 4 weeks, to allow dopamine receptors to recover. Then setting some strict limitations after the fast is over. So example, social media detox muna ako for 2 weeks. Alisin ko muna siya. Then pagbalik ko, mag-check lang ako once a day. Ayan, kung tingin mo hindi mo kaya, ayan, isipin mo, temporary lang naman siya. So ako, inalis ko na talaga, wala na talaga. Okay, so method number 3, progressive underload. Okay, ibig sabihin yan, progressively reducing the time you're exposed to high dopamine releasing activities until they're managed or removed altogether. For example, limit social media, Netflix, video games to 2 hours sa umpisa. Then underload tayo, gawin natin 1 hour, 30 minutes, then 0. For example, desserts, junk foods, MWF lang. Then MF, then Monday na lang din, no more. So here's another example of progressive underloading. When you wake up, huwag ka mag-check ng phone, gawin mo yung mga low dopamine tasks. Then at the end of the day, doon mo lang gawin yung mga trip mong gawin, yung mga high dopamine stimulating. Okay, then ito, hindi ito pwede sa una. Ang keyword, ang key phrases, at the end of the day, after gawin yung mga importanteng bagay, saka not damaging. So hindi siya pwede sa umpisa, kasi pag nilagay siya sa umpisa, ganito mangyayari. Pag nilagay siya sa umpisa, tataas yan, then hindi na natin magagawa. Okay, tapos na tayo dito, na-discuss ko na to at the end of the day, saka not damaging. Oops. Balik tayo dito. Yung opinion ko lang dito, if you're going to do this, i-focus natin to talaga. Kung nalilito kayo, hindi nyo alam gagawin pa, ang biggest domino niyan is this. Huwag talaga tayo mag-check ng phone first thing in the morning. Pag nagawa nyo to, napalitan nyo siya ng ibang habit like meditating or reading a book, sobrang ganda na magiging flow ng araw nyo. Now, you will feel bored, yes, kasi addict nga tayo, stimulated yung brain natin, but that's the point. We need to remove pleasures in our lives so that low dopamine activities will become very pleasurable for us. And also, para sa akin cold turkey yung best, sa opinion ko. Based from personal experience, kasi natry ko na ito lahat. And next, how to determine if an activity produces a lot of dopamine. Nabalik lang tayo dito sa examples natin kanina. Immediate reward, saka delayed gratification. So tapos na tayo sa 3 methods, meron tayong bonus. Ano yung bonus na yan? Unfollow, unfriend, unsubscribe to people both online and in real life. So na-apply din yung less is more sa mga tao. Like if you have friends na hindi na aligned, pwede muna tayo mag-fast sa kanila, mag-detox, mag-unsubscribe. Because possible, di ba? Napapansin mo, sa previous seasons kasi ganito yung mga questions doon eh. Meron silang friends, but the old friends, sila naghahatak doon sa client pababa. Parang nag-diet siya, tapos parang ginigilty siya, huwag na mag-diet, ganyan, ganito lang tayo, bakit ka pa nag-fitness na yan? So pag ganun, pwede tayong layo muna, unsubscribe muna. Now, we can love these people from afar. Hindi natin kailangan na kung ganun yung lifestyle nila, ganun na tayo forever. Okay? And of course, yung social media. Yung social media lang yan, be ruthless about it. Ako, matindi ako dito. Kahit friend ko naman, kahit family members ko, when I was still using social media, automatic in-unfollow ko agad mga tao na hindi naman helpful. Na nagkukos ng disturbance sa peace ko. So I practice what I preach. I believe in the law of attraction. I protect my mind from pollution, negativity. Kasi if I allow that, ano systems thinking nun? A negative domino effect. Not just sa utak, but it will come out sa service ko sa inyo, sa client, sa team ko, sa loved ones. And I don't want that energy. And to prove to you how effective dopamine detox is, yung ginawa ko siya, I was able to, in the past, I was able to create Kaizen and its SAAC framework from scratch. So I had no one to model. Sa lahat ng nasa Kaizen, wala pa ako nakitang ganito. So next, because of the dopamine detox, ginawa ko dati, I was able to come up with new lessons week to week from nothing. So ongoing na yung season 1 official nun, pero ang dami pang weeks na walang lesson. Even ideas. So on the spot ako nagpo-formulate that time. And ito na yung mga lessons na pinapanood nyo ngayon. So ang mindset ko nun, ano yung tuturo ko this week? Tapos parang may full belief lang ako, may trust lang ako na, hindi, meron yan, may lalabas yan. So yun, every time I sit down in front of my desk, open ko yung keynote ko, laging merong ideas na. Ang galing, di ba? Kasi wala akong distraction. Yun lang kailangan ko gawin eh. Next, I was able to prove its effectivity in just one season by creating winners in the 100-day challenge. Dito nang galing yung MF Challenge Champ last season. And this year, uulitin natin yun. Are you with me on this? Yun yung goal ng Kaizen team. Dapat, lahat na mag-champion sa MF Challenge, sa 100-day challenge, manggagaling sa Kaizen. G ba kayo doon? Okay. And next, I was able to learn how to create amazing webinars and hit record-breaking sales in just 3 tries. So I'm sure madami sa inyo may hindi alam nito, pero 3 webinars pa lang nagagawa ko my entire life. So I'm talking about sales webinar, yung magbebenta ka sa webinar. So it's not easy, but I was able to learn this stuff. So 3 pa lang, and we were able to surpass industry records even outside fitness. And all of this, nagawa ko lahat yan while maintaining around 10% body fat for over 2 years. Sabi ko sa inyo, if a former tambay, party boy, asa sa magulang like me can do it, I'm sure you can do it as well. Probably even better than I did. So these are just some of the few that I got when I applied dopamine detox, when I decluttered my life. And since may track record ako sa kung gaano siya ka-life-changing for me, I'm now applying it again. So at the time of recording this, 4 weeks in na ako sa dopamine detox ko. Tinanggal ko social media, Netflix, lahat ng hindi aligned sa goals ko for this season. Kaya yung mga nag-chat sa akin but getting no reply, ito po yung reason. And I'm calling this season of my life, Upgrading OS season. And so far, sa 4 weeks na to, ito na yung mga nakuha ko. So I'm upgrading myself to the best version by taking up 4 coaching programs and masterminds simultaneously. Merong peak performance, spirituality, leadership, business. Coach, kala ko ba focus? Bakit ang dami mong inaaral? So this is not to be equated dito sa example natin kanina. So ang difference ng ginagawa ko now, dun sa scattered focus at shiny object example, is that all of this point to one purpose. And that is my mission of transforming 100K Filipinos. And under that, scaling my business this year. So they are synergistic, meaning improving on one has a carryover on the other. Nagets yun, guys? So nuance difference. Itong peak performance coaching ko is so that I can be at my peak daily. So I can perform all my tasks like work, fitness, saka yung learning ko, mag-amplify. And so I can do everything here with so much focus and creativity. Yan yung tinatawag nilang flow. Yan yung tinatawag nilang in the zone moments. So kaya meron ako nito to support this. The spirituality so that I can clear the invisible, subconscious blocks or limiting beliefs that are slowing me down from reaching this even faster. So example yan, mga fears ko, mga doubts ko, mga insecurities, mga wounds, traumas ko na unaware ako. Or leadership so that I can manage and lead my team well and transform them into amazing leaders so we can all impact more people. Because in this game that I'm playing, hindi ko kaya ito mag-isa. So kailangan kong mag-create ng mas maraming leaders. And lastly, business is so that I can figure out more strategies and ways to scale this business even more para makatulong ako sa mas maraming tao. Yun naman yung goal ko. So example kanina, this happens to seek more dopamine. So yung energy dito out of boredom or low motivation. Ayoko na ito naman ako. Ito na, more. So iba siya. And the things here, hindi naman sila synergistic, hindi naman sila interrelated. Okay? So clear yun? Magkaiba yan ha? Gusto ko i-clarify para hindi nyo ma-mistake yung shiny objects sa ginagawa ko ngayon. So subtle difference lang sila. So be careful. For beginners sa area ng focus, I would suggest doing one thing at a time muna. If you do multiple things at once tapos wala pa kayong skill ng focus, magiging rationalization nyo lang yung synergistic na yan, but eventually, wala kang matatapos. Okay? Clear yun? Focus na tayo sa isa o sa few. So next, in my 4th week of dopamine detox, I finished 11 books so far in line with the things I mentioned above to support them even more. Ganyan ako ka-focus ngayon. Next, on point with fitness and almost back to 10% body fat. Sorry guys, nauna na ako sa inyo. Next, managing my leadership role well for the team. And we're now bigger, happier, and closer with each other. Align na align ng lahat. And lahat kami very fulfilled serving all of you. And lastly, on point din sa pagluluto ng mga kung ano-ano that will scale the business even more and help more people. So lahat to is because I decided to declutter my life and remove the unnecessary pleasures. Tinira ko lang yung mga importante sa akin. So may attention, time, and effort. And therefore, my motivation dito lang mapupunta sa mga importante sa akin. So I hope this inspires you to do the same. To define what's important for you at tanggalin lahat na hindi man align doon. Di ba kayo doon? And another underrated tool, silence. Sobrang effective nito. Sabi nga ng quote, silence is not empty, it's full of answers. Sa silence lang tayo makapag-self-reflect, makapag-process ng emotions na ina-escape natin, plus the fact that we get to lower our dopamine baseline even more. I always tell people na kakastart lang mag-meditate ng mga spiritual bodies ko, if you can learn how to be in silence with yourself, like in meditation, then there's nothing you cannot do. Kasi that means na you've already experienced confronting your inner demons na makikita mo lang during silence. Kaya ako when I drive solo, most of the time, I don't listen to anything. Na-enjoy ko yung silence. It's a meditative experience. So again, another weird stuff, but very powerful. Try nyo lang din. Next, tools to help you succeed in your dopamine detox. Yan, kung gamit yung Chrome, using a laptop, browser, desktop, yan, libre lang ito lahat. So hanapin nyo, FB Purity, hindi ko sure kung nagbago na yung name niya, tsaka yung Newsfeed Eradicator. If you think you cannot give up social media, gamitin nyo to. Ang silbi niyan, your newsfeed will be clean. Pagpunta mo sa Facebook mo, sa YouTube mo, ganyan siya. Hindi ka mara-rabbit hole. Walang distraction. Even Instagram. And then you can, pwede ka maglagay ng sarili mong quote. So paggamit mo ng social media, with intention na, kaysa by habit. So yung gumagamit pa ako dati, ang social media ko, punta ako dito, tapos pag may message ako, kiklik ko lang to. Or pag may pupunta ako sa Kaizen group, dito lang, pupunta ako agad dito, search ko lang. And next, beware of the productive procrastination. Ano ibig sabihin yan? It's doing the less important yet seemingly productive things to delay or avoid doing the more important things. Example, may inaaral naman ako sa YouTube eh. Okay lang, di ako mag-gym. Ano pa example? Tinigil ko tong ginagawa ko kasi nag-aaral ako ng crypto eh. Hindi ako nag-gym kasi inayos ko yung website ko eh. Kahit pwede naman ayusin yun ng ibang time. Basta anything that is not your goal, kahit mukhang importante pa yan, kahit pa ikakayaman mo yan, it's procrastination. The next sa tools, yung apps, softwares. Self-control, cold turkey, or freedom. So ito na yung free dyan. Pero maganda to. Gamit ko rin ngayon, freedom. So ang silbi nila, meron silang pang-block ng websites, saka may pang-block ng apps, meron ding hard lock. Ibig sabihin, pag nag-set ka, kunwari, nilagay mo block the sites, these apps for 1 hour. So pag in-start mo tong self-control, hindi mo na yun mata-turn off until matapos yung 1 hour na yun. So yun, you will be forced to do the work. To do the things na sinet mong gagawin mo ngayon. Kasi wala kang distraction. Ayun lang silbi nilang, pare-pares lang yan. Check nyo na lang ano yung, basahin yung features, check nyo na lang ano yung mag-work sa inyo. So sa mobile naman, yan, best way dyan, delete nyo yung mga apps na dopamine stimulating. Social media, TikTok. Yan, kung dahilan nyo, coach, alarm ko yung mobile. Yan, pwede kayo bumili ng physical alarm. Tapos, majority of the time, keep your phone away. Out of sight, out of mind. So ako ngayon, hindi ko na nakikita yung phone ko kasi isang hack na ginawa ko, nilipat ko yung charging station ko dun sa malayo. Hindi ko na talaga siya nakita. Siguro hinawakan ko yung phone ko ngayon 2 beses a day. Tapos wala pang social media. Ganun lang, Slack lang sa messages to communicate with my team. Tapos ito, pwede nyo install tong Forest saka Freedom. So itong Freedom, hindi siya available dati sa mobile. Hindi niya nabablock yung mga apps. Pero ngayon pwede na. So you can download this para i-block yung mga distracting apps sa inyo kung hindi nyo kaya i-delete. So itong Forest, anong silbi niyan? Yan, as an entrepreneur, ito sa law students, gumagana rin to. Sobrang effective nito. So the phone, may browser, may extension din pala to, Chrome extension. Ang gagawin mo, parang Pomodoro siya. Alam mo yung Pomodoro? Magsiset kayo ng timer, pwede nyo i-adjust to hanggang 2 hours. Tapos pag plinant nyo na siya, hindi nyo na siya pwede galawin. Ibig sabihin, uubusin mo yung oras na yun, doing the work. O pagbabasa, kung ano man kailangan mo gawin. Basta hindi ka mag-check ng phone. Kasi pag lumabas ka dito sa app, mamamatay yung puno mo. So ganun siya, may RPG element siya. Pwede ka bumili ng mga trees, ayun o, papaganda mo yung garden. Okay, gets yun? So pag nakompleto mo, kunwari sinet mo 25 minutes lang, pag nakompleto mo yan, makakabuo ka ng puno. The longer the time, mas maganda yung natatanim mo. Okay, gets to? Ito gamit ko lagi, pero hindi sa phone, meron akong Chrome extension ito. And huwag natin kalimutan, gamitin natin ng mga basic functions ng ano natin, ng phone natin, especially iPhone. Meron dyan, do not disturb. Yan. Ako, phone ko 24/7, naka do not disturb yan. Pindutin nyo lang to. Airplane mode, silent. Kasi sobrang distracting talaga. Alam nyo ba, pag nasa focus tayo, flow state tawag doon, tapos na-distract tayo, para makabalik tayo, usually, alam nyo ilang minutes pa? 15 to 20 minutes. So if you're in the zone, tapos na-distract ka, diba, full of creativity ka na, nasa breakthroughs ka na, ang dami mong ideas, tapos nasira, kasi nag-ring yung phone mo, kasi tumunog, masayang. Kaya most of us, hindi nakapunta dun sa state na yun. Yung state na sobrang flowing yung creativity natin, yung productivity natin. Okay? So gamitin natin to. Ako, ruthless pa rin ako sa paggamit nito. Wala na ako social media, wala na akong kung ano-ano sa cellphone. Kasi ang lakas talaga ng hatak nila. At ang effect nun, ngayon sa akin, mas masaya ako, less anxious, mas productive, mas marami nagagawa, and all my creative powers are put sa pag-achieve ng vision ko. Again, less is more. Don't look for more productivity apps and tools. Instead of adding, look for something to remove. So guilty ako dito in the past. Kung ano binibili ko na productivity apps saka softwares. Tapos may planner pa ako nun. Shiny object lang at nagiging burden lang sila sa akin. So just pick the best tools, then stick na dun. Kasi if we add, mas shiny object lang tayo. Ganito mangyayari sa atin. Pag may bago, bili agad, download agad, jump agad. Tapos iwan yung mga old. Tapos wala na tayo natapos. The tools I use, ito yung mga gamit ko, Google Sheet para sa Kaizen natin, Slack. Ito yung parang messenger namin for the team, the business. Evernote for my notes, Asana for, ito yung to-do, ito yung, ano ko, dito? Parang to-do. Ganun siya. Oh, task management software. Okay, yan lang, simple lang. After you break free from high dopamine stimulating activities, your motivation to get things done will shoot through the roof and you will have plenty of free time. Use this time to work on your dreams. So put all your focus here and prevent yourself from getting dopamine addicted again. Napunta natin lahat dito or whatever's important for you. Ito, bawasan natin. Kasi if you remove this, ito yung magiging default. Focus is going to be the default. And this is the reason why I think na possible na masustain natin yung long periods of high motivation. Kasi kung wala nang source ng dopamine bukod dun sa mga importante for you, then I think forever na yung motivation mo dun. Kasi wala nang comparison. In effect, you will do better in your fitness, personal development, achieving goals. It's going to be much easier. And then, success spiral ka na, where your life just goes up and up and up. As you age, you improve. And before I end this presentation, this lesson, I want to share this quote with you. It's never the dopamine addict version of you that's going to be successful. Rise above that and make the most out of this life. We only have one shot at this. Let's make it meaningful. And tomorrow, para lang ma-reinforce lalo yung mga ideas dito, as this is my super duper favorite lesson, give us your best takeaway. Okay? And another, I know motivated kayo magtanggal mga distractions in your life like social media, and nabanggit din natin kanina, di ba, na you cannot just remove a bad habit and expect them na mawala lang agad. So instead of just removing, palitan natin, i-replace natin. So to help you with replacing your bad habits, magkakaroon tayo ng bonus training that's called Mission Statement Writing Workshop. And the purpose of this training is to have clarity sa kung ano talaga yung purpose mo sa buhay. To give it meaning. So you could wake up every day knowing the reason for your living. Di ba na-discuss natin kanina how important this is? Kasi if you don't define what's important for you, other people will do it for you and you will believe them. And parang dahon na tinatangay ng hangin, hindi alam saan pupunta kasi you never took the time to define it yourself. So yan yung magiging impact ng workshop na to. It will be facilitated by our very own Iggy Arcilla, your fellow Kaizen student who has such vast knowledge and experience with leadership trainings like this. So ngayon pa lang, thank you, Ms. Iggy. Sobrang grateful namin sa'yo. Lalo ako. So kami guys, Kaizen team, kakatapos lang namin nito and sobrang saya naging outcome. Okay, so the date when this will happen is on the slide. Check nyo to. So I would suggest you block this date for the week and to also remind your group members, mga team leaders to attend here live. Okay, mga TL, let's do our best to bring all of your group members here sa training. I can't emphasize this enough. This is your life's purpose. So wag yung basta-bastahin lang to. You only got one life to live and you cannot afford to outsource your life to someone else's hand. Okay, atin tayo dito ha. Final thoughts and reminders. 58 days left. Halfway na tayo almost before the 100-day challenge ends. Step up tayo. Para remember yung goal natin, dito yung mag-champion sa 100-day challenge. The first step to getting our addiction handled is acknowledging that we are addicts. Addict ka ba? The sooner we get our dopamine baseline to a lower level, the sooner we'll be more motivated to do the hard things. So let's implement the dopamine detox methods ASAP. Best is to schedule one starting tomorrow. Since it feels like week number 1 again and the first half is almost over, I want to remind you of the prizes if you make it to the top 5. First 100K, second 60K, third 40K, fourth and fifth 20K. Top 2 groups, invitation to have an exclusive get-together with Coach Joe and the team. And for those people who are engaged dito sa Kaizen Party and doing their best to add value to others, to inspire others through their sharings, you'll have a chance to get invited sa Kaizen Getaway even if hindi ka makapasok sa top. And this is worth more than the prize money. Being with like-minded people and your mentors and some other people na very, very rich talaga, not just sa wealth but sa mindset, sa heart, sa character. Pag nakasama niyo sila, sobrang sulit nun. It's more than the prize money. Kahit tanongin niyo yung previous seasons, yun din sasabihin nila. And I know we're only at week number 7, but I've been seeing plenty of lives that have already changed. With that said, is it okay to ask for a quick first half testimonial sa inyo? Okay lang ba? This will allow us to get some data regarding the client's motivation and results. And the data we can get can help us improve this program even more. Okay lang ba guys? Lagay ko lang sa action items. Week 7 action items are already posted in the private group. Please block your schedule for our bonus training. Also, I hope you're getting so much value from this program and I hope it's okay to ask you for a quick testimonial. It will really help us help more people in the future. And lastly, it's never the dopamine addict version of you that's going to be successful. Rise above that and make the most out of this life. We only have one shot at this. Let's make it meaningful. Let's all have a lower dopamine baseline week. Have a good day.